I went to 59th Street Elementary, Horseman Junior High. I grew up with Daryl Strawberry. Remember I tell you my dad was a federal postal inspector. Sat me down, man gotta have an occupation in this world. What you wanna do? I wanna be a motherfucking hustler. The lane we was in the Missouri and Kansas, they still put me on a pedestal. You can't do that no more. By the end of '85, I had a crew, 10 of us. Everybody had 100,000 miles. I wasn't 19. Just like 40 said, and the jealous motherfucker would love to see you fall.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Scheme Heme TV. I'm in here with the OG today, Shawn Copeland. You know what I mean? We're gonna kick it with him a little bit, go back through his story. Gonna let y'all know a few things about him that y'all probably ain't know. He gonna let y'all know a few things he got going on right now, some things he got coming up. So we're gonna kick it back a little bit. Shawn, let these people know where you from.
Kansas City, Missouri, born Linwood Prospect, 1966, St. Joseph Medical Center.
So where you go to school at?
1980, I attended Lincoln Prep to freshman and sophomore year. Left and went to the old Central High School, 1983. Left there and graduated from Southwest High School with honors.
What was your household like? Was mom and pops in the house?
Oh yeah, R.I.P. to moms and pops. They were both postal workers. My daddy was a federal agent, a federal postal inspector.
What about siblings?
One older brother, Conrad Poindexter. I come from the Copelands and Poindexters, Missouri and Kansas.
So what was it kind of like coming up in your household?
Shit, respect, education, and morals, values, and principles. And love thy brother.
What was you like in school?
Well, early on, we left Kansas City. Well, I left Kansas City in 1971 from Truce Elementary to South Central LA, 59th Street Elementary.
How long was you out there?
To 1980. 6011 6th Avenue. Rolling 60s, yes sir.
What was it like back then being in Cali?
Well, in the 70s, it was more, you know, so put your fists up, and you know, and if you lost today, you can come back and fight tomorrow. To the rat pack and then the gun totem came in. By the time I came back though, gangbang was just, 1980, before the crack era. But while I was there when the trades in the 60s actually clashed at Horseman Junior High School. And just growing up in Cali is a whole different mentality, with gang. And moms knew then, I got to get my son up out of here.
What sent y'all down to Cali?
At the time, I didn't know, but my mother had, as we call it, a come up, where you hit six figures and back in the 70s and you loaded up the truck and you moved to Beverly Hills. And then, just learning the game, I got it from my mama, the right way, where she set you down and tell you about it for the homies in the streets told you about it, and basically just not going to school, gang violence and all that shit at 13, 12 years old, it's time to go. Grandma shot calling, get them back to Kansas City.
So you came back with grandma?
Came back to grandma, 3.79 grade point average.
So mom still stayed in Cali?
No, mom's here too. They came and got me when I left Cali in 1980. All the furniture was moved. Just the beacons over there on Truce and Armor. All our stuff was there. I was still in Cali. They had to get me a day before school started. I didn't want to come back.
So what was you into when you was a youngster?
In Cali, man, we was hustling crush bottles. You get a nickel for every crush. We have a whole shopping cart, and the place that we took them to recycle, they was slipping a little bit. So the same bottles recycled through the front door. We came and got them out the back door later on and brought them right through the front door as a youngster, That's how I bought my little mini bike, I got a ticket, give you a little story, in Cali. I got a ticket and was in Kansas City. I had to come back to Kansas City every summer or every Christmas. That mean grandma. That mean them Captain Von Zell pool parties at Sycamore Groves and stuff back in the day. Couldn't go. Had to sneak out the window. If I wanted to go, grandma didn't play that. I had to call and get permission 2,000 miles away. So grandma she was looking from afar from Kansas City about her grandbabies. And just one day, just with the gang and all that stuff, she was like, come on back home. We came back home and life got better for me because my education grew. I already had the street knowledge at an early age. Shot at, shot back. Like I said, growing up in South Central LA. I went to 59th Street Elementary, Horseman Junior High. My brother went to Crenshaw. I grew up with Daryl Strawberry. I stayed on 6, he stayed on 7. A whole lot of other ghetto celebrities in the hood and all that stuff. I still holler at them, hook with them, and the whole nine. The Crips and the Bloods.
What about sports back then? Was you into any sports?
I played sports. I played ball, just pick up, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't even looking at it like I did once I came back to Kansas City and got in the books and played officiated ball. I made Sam Cofield, if anybody's familiar with Lincoln Prep, I made his team. I didn't make his team, he cut me and he threw me off. I made Coach Bush's team, but I didn't make my grades. Another legendary coach out of Kansas City, Coach William Madison at Southwest. That's why I lettered in varsity my senior year and got on out of school.
So what about when you got out of high school? Was you into college or did you want to go to college or anything?
Remember I tell you my dad was a federal postal inspector. So he lived in Richmond and Hayward. So as soon as I got out of school, he flew me out there, set me down, man gotta have an occupation in this world. What you wanna do? I wanna be a motherfucking hustler. And when you tell your mom and your daddy that, and you 18, because when I graduated, when school started back, either you're gonna have a job or you're gonna be enrolled in school. And you still gotta pay some bills. Well, I left home, 18, Donnie Stuckey, and the rest was history. Because I went back to California and I taught the dime block and some more blocks how to get in that pot, from Missouri to Kansas.
So back then, you wanted to be in the game and everything. Did it come from Cali or was it coming
from Cali? Came from Cali and probably seeing some things that I shouldn't have seen like we all did growing up inside, outside our household. And networking and communicating, like I said. At an early age, when I came back here, during the Christmas and all the holidays, the little story I was giving you, and I fell off a little bit, I had a mini bike. I got pulled over by 77 crash. So if you're familiar with Cali, that's a precinct in Cali, Rampart, 77. And they knocked on the door. I'm in Kansas City. I'm 10 years old. They said, we got an arrest warrant for Shawn Copeland. What? He ain't but 10 motherfucking years old for riding a mini bike. I got back home, the mini bike was gone. Mama sold it. 3 weeks later, I had a motorcycle. That's how good hustling was for me at 10 years old. When I probably came back to Kansas City, literally, they had a couple bands on it.
How old was you when you came back?
14.
What was the hustle back then?
Back then, like I said, as a youth in Cali, it was, I had my hands on a little sack, kept a little weed to sell, shit like that. Nothing major, till after I got out of high school. Because when I came back home, education, grandma and them didn't play. When I graduated, my own free run. When I went and seen Dad in Hayward, before I left him, I needed a ticket back to LA.
So when you really got in the game, what year was it when you kind of
1985. By the end of 85, I had a crew, 10 of us. Everybody had 100,000 miles. I wasn't 19. I wasn't that big meat stuff they talk about. Yeah, that was another era. But the lane we was in 1985 in Missouri and Kansas, they still put me on a pedestal. You can't do that no more. I don't care what I achieve in life, you can't put me there. Because just like 40 said, and the jealous motherfucker would love to see you fall.